I said, okay, you want to stay there for a year, but then you're going to sell it and move. Yeah. I said, okay, well, here's how we're going to solve this, right? This is my option consideration. I'm going to give you $15,000. Of course, I'm not going to give it to you to go pay your bill. I'm going to give it to escrow that's going to go pay your bill. And they're going to record an option. How much do you want for your property? You told me how much you wanted. Okay, great. This is going to be my deposit for that. My window's in a year. I'm going to exercise my window, and you'll get the rest of your money in a year. That's how this works. Perfect, fine, done. That whole thing from when he walked into my office to that deal being recorded at the county with paid, done, stamped, option recorded, everything, was less than 3 hours. Once he walked in the door. Literally, I drove to escrow, I got the conference room from Steve Barrett and said, let's get to work. We need a courier taking this to the county to record it. Come on, this is showtime. It happened in 3 hours, but it was the years of strategy and slow dancing that went on to get that opportunity. And you know, to be honest, it was really fun. It was enjoyable. It was a highlight in life. The reason I have that picture of that sign in is I said, okay, part of the deal, Harry, I've got to, during this year, I'm going to have surveyors, engineers. I've got to have a lot of people walking around here. I'll identify them all with a orange vest that'll have my company name on it, so you'll know they're with me. Don't shoot them, right? Yep, no problem. And I'm going to put a sign on the property because it doesn't even have an address here that I can find, so they know what property we're talking about. No problem. That's fine. Okay, because I'm starting, this year is going to be a busy year for me, getting everything all designed and this and that, so that when I close, I'm going to get going on this thing. Got it, no problem. Well, I've only taken a few hours off in my entire career, and I put that sign up myself, and then I ran back to the office, and I just decided I'm just going to sit here for a few hours and wait for the phone to ring. This is back before cell phones. And then the phone started to ring. And the first guy was an old guy named Don Finnegan, builder, developer in the area. Pinneo, geez, I just went by that property, you know, that Harry's property. It says I saw your sign on it. Did you buy that from that guy? Go, yeah, you know, we worked out a deal, Don. Yeah, we're gonna be able to. Holy crap! How did you get that guy to sell that? I go, well, I didn't get him to sell it. I mean, he decided he wanted to sell it. No, what's the secret? I go, well, you know, wood scraps. Wood scraps that's usually something we do a lot of, is give people wood scraps. And he's like, wood scraps? What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, it's just so fun to have every broker and builder in the area call, like, how the hell? And you know, it's like, well, the answer to what you really want to say is you just give up too easy. How badly do you want what you want, right? Anyway, so back to contractor. You can make the same phone calls I made to build out that street, because that's where his little shed used to be, right there. That's the entire street. There's 44 units on that street that were built. But I didn't swing a hammer, right? But I contracted. And real estate entrepreneurs create income-producing property. That's what we do. And whether you remodel it, whether you build it new, it doesn't matter. Get it in service and find more Jeff and Kellys to pay for it, right? Okay? This is an example of so many where I find little houses that were zoned multifamily, right? On this lot, there was one house, a little 1,400 square foot, 3-bedroom rambler, and that was the backyard, this lot. And of course, I didn't even want to bulldoze the little house because it was so cute. So we picked it up, we moved it 6 blocks down the street, bought another house, short platted the lot, and put the little cute house in the backyard. And then, now that that house is gone, we can go ahead and build 12 units on this property. But in this area, it's just full of 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s, 20s, 22s, you know. You just decide that I'm going to know this city and the zoning intimately, and I'm going to know the rents intimately, and you just contract, right? So do that. But do it in a high demand location. Because 7/8 of this country, nobody wants it. It's a liability, right? The principle of wealth all works off of demand. You have to have what everybody else wants. If you have a rental unit that nobody wants to live in, you've got a problem, right? You've got to have something in demand. And so demand is infill. I'm not a speculator. I'm not sprawl. I'm not the next most developing area. I'm going to go to where it's proven, where days on market are under 30, to where there is no vacancy rate. I'm going to go right to the best areas, and that's where I'm going to buy real estate. And of course, everybody says, oh, geez, it's so expensive there, it's so this, it's so that, nobody ever sells there, blah, 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 blah. You see how that's a belief system? And that's why they don't try. Because it's impossible. You don't do that, that's impossible. But I don't believe that. There's never been a 3-month period in my last 43 years that I haven't bought a property in Seattle in the best of locations. So it's not impossible. We just have to do it, right? I had a guy in Asheville, yeah, it was Asheville, last night, that said, oh, I've got a brother that lives up there, and he'd love to buy something in Queen Anne, but oh man, you just can't find anything in Queen Anne. I said, really? You can't, huh? I said, one of my students is building 42 units right on the plateau right this minute. Like, right this second, on the corner of Highland and Lee. So, I guess it can be done. It's not like it can't be done. You just don't think it can be done. And that's why you and your brother aren't doing it. That's belief systems, right? Anyway, high demand real estate is critical. Well, in Seattle, this is arguably the highest demand piece of real estate in Seattle. And I know, another ugly 1958 building, right? But it's on the only waterfront piece of property on Lake Union. It's an only apartment on the waterfront on Lake Union with its own boat docks, right? So in terms of rare, it's one of one. There's nothing like it. So I hand wrote this guy letters, hand wrote nice letters, like cursive, right? Every quarter for 15 years. Every quarter. He never answered me, never called me, never wrote me back. But he saved every one of those letters and wrote a cover letter on this pile that says to his estate attorney, when I die, call this guy first because he really wants this. And his estate attorney, a gal named Ms. Martin, called me on the single worst 3-hour block of time in my life. In the last 43 years, this would be the single worst 3-hour block of time in 43 years. That's when the phone call came. Now, what's the principle of that? Why do I tell you that? I tell you that because the very, very best deal you'll ever get will always come at the worst time. That's not an accident, by the way. That's how it works. And it works that way for a reason. Anything that has happened so consistently, there's a reason. If I were to let go of this, where's it going to go? That way. Well, that's called a principle of gravity. They figured out it always works that way. Right? So they create a principle around it. Right? Well, the best deal you'll ever get always will come to you at the very worst time. That's principle. Why? It's checking your philosophy.